I don't know. I was standing. You were sitting.
Hey, Charles. Say that again? I can hear you.
Some of those parts of there, I just have to, I like to
Well, yeah. Yeah, I do. I had to fix the walkie-talkie. Had to fix the walkie-talkie. Bring it on. I said I heard you. Oh, Derek just walked in my shop. Get that ugly guy out of here.
Like knock everything over. Gosh, and they're gonna put this in the container for
I can hear you. I can't hear you.
Don't even sit by me, thanks. Well, at least they're right next to us.
Sure, it looks a little red right here.
Where?
I know we have Shannon several times already in this life.
You know, that's why we're like,
And we have you too. I want to say Alexis.
Jody.
Yeah, I know you're in there several times. We debated about this one because, you know, also so we're kind of looking for some seniors.
Miss Matthews is messing up my shot.
I don't want you to eat for a minute.
Yeah.
You know you're the mom of the Anyway, Dad, okay, pretend like it's 2 in the afternoon and now whatever. Thank you, ladies.
Alright, go, go, go.
One more time, ladies. Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready. Bring it on. What?
You know what, Shannon? I was thinking that
You want a better
to do
angle?
with Ryan Metzger. He always hangs out down like this. He always causes a problem. I was like, I bet that is like his. I wonder if it is.
Wait, what we looking at?
Well, like, people say we got
Everything's black and white in this camera. That one right there? That one right there? Oh, I see her. This is it? Where? Where? That girl right there? What are you trying to do? Hey, is the camera off for me? Because I'll put the camera down. Okay.
Best friends, we can do that.
Yeah. You didn't even look.
Hey, Charles. No, I was testing out the headphones.
We're not filming anymore. What? We stopped filming for a little bit. Raise this up higher if you can.
We're done for right now. Wait till it starts.
Yeah.
Good play. Stop recording.
Here.
Stop recording? Yeah.
parent breakfast. My name is Vanessa Howard and I'm the senior class vice president. I would like to quickly thank the senior breakfast committee. Would everybody that helped with this please stand up? Thank you. I would also like to thank Lydia Salmon for her wonderful piano. And to begin this morning, I would give this to the MCs, Morgan Davis and Tasha Adams.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to this year's Senior Parent Breakfast. Aptly named because it allows seniors to celebrate along with their parents in a more relaxed setting. And now for a bit of history. This breakfast is a tradition at Mariner High School that was started. Thanks, Tasha, for that. I guess we're gonna start now. Don't you think we should give all the seniors a round of applause? You know, they did make it this far. Or at least they made it here anyway. I'm sure they ran a few legs to get here. After they rolled out of bed at the very last possible moment. So everyone let's shake hands. As you did already, so thank you. Have to follow the script. Now for our first speaker. She's a involved Mariner student with basketball and soccer, and she's also a conflict mediator and a proud AP student. Sorry. So let's give a round of applause for Melissa Privos.
Good morning. Parents, relatives, soon-to-be graduates. You know, wouldn't it be nice if we could eat breakfast just like this every single day before school? You know? Hey, come on. Can you believe this, though? We're almost there. You know, we got like 9 days left or whatever it is. But class of 2000 will always hold a special place for all of us because we've gone through it all together. Just 4 years ago, we were freshmen, and we thought we were so cool. We were going to be able to chew gum. I mean, come on. And then we were going to be able to drive, okay? But then we had a slight problem. Money for gas. Okay. We began to realize what was important, and we began to discover who we want to be and what we want to achieve as individuals. We realized the things we've done and the like things we have not yet done. We start to realize that all the lectures we received over the years about not sleeping all day, about having to be somebody, succeeding, maybe did have some slight value. But in this duration of not doing, we began to visualize who we are and what we feel. The world is full of tremendous freedoms that we have been given. We need to give back to a community that's given so much to us and continue to receive and be renewed. Some of us have earned scholarships, won awards, contests. We together have challenged ourselves and each other. Robert Ballard once said, "Your journey is not over once your goal is reached, your dream fulfilled, the truth attained." Our journey is not over until we take time to give back to future generations. We are the beginning of the new millennium. We get to set the tone. This is the mere beginning for what we will pursue and endure. We are the future, and our decisions will leave a legacy for future generations to fill. Dr. Seuss says, "You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose." We are on our own now. We know what we know, and now get to choose and decide where our brains and feet shall take us. Today is the beginning of a celebration that will culminate on June 9th. We need to take time to celebrate the memories we've spent together. Remember them, savor them, and get ready for the even better future to come. Hard work, a good attitude, and effort will steer us through the worst of times. Socrates says, "Know thyself." Know what we stand for. Remember where we came from, and figure out who we want to be.
Thank you, Melissa.
Okay, our next performer is the best looking singer that Mariner has ever seen. I'd also like to add it's not his first time performing in front of people. He is in choir and he has aspirations to be a singer. So here singing and holding on is Dre McCoy.
Sorry, I've got to get this set. Saying goodbye can be the hardest thing to do when you really love someone. You keep holding on, hoping that one second will last you forever, but in time, letting go can be the hardest thing to do. Hope to never lose friends as close as you. You can't say goodbye enough times to make the feeling last a lifetime. But all the memories never go away. Holding on. Moving on can be the hardest thing to do when you truly care about someone. The moment we part inside our hearts, we'll always be together, and I'll never, I know I'll never quit holding on to those days and those months and those years gone by, holding on. I told myself I'm not gonna cry, holding on. It's so hard to say goodbye, holding on. I know I love you, I'll miss you.
Thanks, Dre. That was awesome. You're awesome, and I'm sure Morgan thinks so too.
Our next speaker is a great actor and has been involved in many of the plays the drama department has put on. And I'm sure many of you guys will recognize him from there. He's also in AP classes and is an ASB Master of Ceremony. So please welcome Timothy Goddard.
Ladies and gentlemen, parents, teachers, but especially seniors, we are just a few short days from one of the most momentous occasions of our lives. And so I realize that anything said in the next week or so will probably be lost in a blue and silver haze, and you won't remember anything that I say. I probably won't remember anything that I say. But there is something that I would like to say to all of you, and so I figured that I might as well give it a shot. Maybe someday, if you get hit on the head really hard, you might remember it. Or maybe it will just sink in and you'll subconsciously remember it. Either way, I think it needs to be said. Like I just mentioned, we're just a few short days from one of the most momentous occasions of our lives. Graduating will change a lot of things for us. Well, it will change at least one thing for us. We will never have to attend Mariner High School again. However, that is where the ready-made changes end. From there, it is up to you. Graduation gives us a chance that doesn't come around very often. A chance to start completely over. We don't have to if we don't want to. We can go right on living pretty much the same lives we have been living, minus the school, of course. We can keep the same friends, we can keep the same jobs, we can live in the same houses, and if that's what you want to do, that's great. But there are a lot of us here that I know want to change something, if not everything. You've looked back on your high school years and recognized opportunities ignored and decisions made poorly, and wished for the chance to just start all over. And now, you can. Some of us are being forced to adapt because we've picked ourselves up by the scruff of our neck and dropped ourselves into an out-of-state college. For others of us, though, we're staying in the same area and going to a nearby school or job, and it will take a more conscious decision to start over. But we can do it. If we've made it this far, we can make it even farther. Everyone here, from the valedictorians to the ones that barely scraped their way to this point, can make a change. You don't have to start completely over, of course. You have the power and the freedom to change only those things that you want to change. Now, I'm a pretty happy guy myself, but even I, or especially I, have things about myself that I want to change. Things about myself that I don't like. And graduation will be my starting point, my clean slate, my beginning. You will always be you. Nothing will change that. You are technically the same person you were when you entered Mariner 4 years ago. But you're not exactly the same as 4 years ago. And when you leave Mercer Arena on the 9th, you don't have to be exactly the same as you were when you entered it. You can begin to change. Strip off those parts of you that are weighing you down. Get rid of those things that you dislike about yourself. And when you throw off that hat next Friday, throw off every piece of your life that you don't want. Become the person you were always meant to be.
Thanks, Tim.
I'd like to introduce our next performers. These two ladies have extraordinary musical talent, and both of them have teamed up working many late hours rehearsing for this performance, even though I'm sure they'd be great without it. So, without further ado, here's Jamie Broadhead singing The Melody Within, accompanied by Eugene Moon.
Music boxes have within melodies they carry with them. Once they open, music fills the air. Every person you have known has a side of me, but now it's free. Found a place embraced by harmony, sweet harmony. But more than anything, teaches our hearts to sing. Hobey bars could break the spell. Now I know very well the love within myself. Thank you, Jamie and Eugene. That was absolutely beautiful. What did you think, Morgan? Okay, well, it was beautiful, wasn't it? Okay. You know what? What? We have an item of business to attend to. Well, everyone, we want to recognize someone very special. Our senior advisor, Miss Metzler. Could you please come up here, please? This is the lady behind the scenes, and she made so much of this possible. Thank you. She spent countless hours putting together pretty much every event that we've had this year for our seniors. So, thank you.
I would next like to introduce you, Sarah Connor. She's here today to tell us about our guest speaker, Mr. Jim Olson.
Hello, my name is Sarah Connor, and I am proud this morning to introduce a wonderful teacher, a good friend, and our guest speaker for this morning. Every year, the senior class is asked to choose one teacher who represents the best of their high school experience. I'm happy to say that I know they made a wonderful choice. Jim Olson is Mariner High School's creative writing teacher, a football coach, and brave soul that he is, freshman and sophomore English teacher. More than that, though, to so many of us, he's become a friend and a confidant. His classroom has been a refuge from the stresses of life, a place of acceptance, trust, free expression, and laughter. For those of you who have been in one of his classes, you know what I mean when I say you can't go into his room without finding something to laugh at, whether it be his bald man's hairbrush, or one of his wigs, or just something he says. Most would admit you can't help just feeling better being in his presence. All right, I could go on like this for hours, but I have a feeling you guys would like to hear from the man himself, so without further ado, Mr. Jim Olson.
coach, so that doesn't make a difference. Let's try this. All right, that will work. I'm really, first of all, humbled by the talent and the poise of the young people who preceded me. It is amazing to see. I would never have been able to do the kind of things that they were doing just a moment ago. I tell my kids, don't read, just say this, but I'm old and I have to read. I try to memorize this. I can't remember my telephone number anymore. So I want to thank you for this honor, the opportunity to speak at such a beautiful and solemn occasion. When I say that this is undeserved, you're going to have to believe me. If you won't, then I know a lot of my ex-teachers will. They're either spinning in their graves right now or spitting out their dentures saying, Olson, Jim Olson speaking at graduation, why? See, there are a couple of ways to go through high school. One way involves good work habits, adherence to rules, listening, turning in all your work, generally being a sharp, aware student. Well, I didn't do that. I lean more to the Curtis McElrath, Joy McDonald method. But I eventually had to pay for it. I did manage to lose a couple of college football scholarships, and then Uncle Sam made me an offer I felt compelled to accept. Now, I went back to college later. Actually, I was 29. And I received my degree in English from the University of Washington. I went back because the time just seemed right and I was ready for it. And this time when I went back, I not only liked it, I loved it. I discovered I really loved learning. I like to know things. I opened myself up to it. I went after it this time the same way many of you have been going after it since you first started kindergarten. And I do admire you for your hard work and perseverance. For those of you out there who plan on taking a somewhat more meandering route to success, I call it the Olson plan, I suggest that learning on some scale is going to be important to you in your future. You cannot escape it. Good thing is, although there are very few do-overs in life, education is something that you can do over. When I was in high school, we had this kid in class we all called Dumb Chet. If it had been possible to achieve a grade point average in the minuses, Chet would have done it. He quit school in the 10th grade and joined the Army. Chet eventually met a woman whom he wanted to marry, but she was a college graduate. She told him that although she would stand by him if he try to get his high school diploma, she would not marry an uneducated man. So Chet got his high school diploma, and then he got his bachelor's degree. He received a master's in psychology before she got sick. He continued his education even after she died of cancer. I saw him last summer for the first time in 41 years. He has the word doctor in front of his name now. He has a PhD in psychology. That is the ultimate do-over. After Chet left, Gary showed up, and Gary kind of took over for Chet. His grade point average was slightly higher, but it was kind of minimal. Gary went into the service actually the same time I did, and he went into ended up in officer's candidate school, ended up being a pilot, got out of school, got out of service, went to college. He now owns 4 businesses, including one that builds $1.5 million trimaran sailing vessels. Probably at that time, when he graduated from high school, he had a grade point average of less than 1 point. So you can, at this point in your life, you can start all over again. If you didn't do it right the first time, it's time to go after it now. Conversely, and I also mentioned, you do not have to have a college education to succeed. I know a guy who's an artist with wood and he builds unique, one-of-a-kind staircases. He has a college degree that he doesn't use, but he follows his passions for carpentry and creating things. He also makes over $100,000 a year. Another carpenter, a guy who frames houses, has a degree in psychology from the UW he doesn't use. He likes the money and he likes the freedom that he has as a framer. The guy who did the cement work and the foundation for our house Graduated from the old Edmonds High School. He told me that when he was in school, he couldn't wait until he graduated so he could get away from all the useless things that they had taught him. Then he told me that he used the math he learned in high school every day of his life. And that was why, he said, he was successful with a crew that included his own father and making it 26 years of age over 6 figures a year. The key to all this is to be prepared. It is said that 90% of all the jobs to be held when you're my age have not been even imagined yet. What will you do in the information age? See, knowledge is like a snowball rolling downhill. Faster it goes, the larger it grows, and the larger it grows, the faster it goes. When I stepped out of the classroom in late May of 1960, 40 years ago, computers could only be seen in science fiction movies. A computer the size of an average home is now sitting on my desk while I type this. We had a black and white console model television that boasted 3 channels and an antenna that had to be manually moved, usually by the kid in the house, to find the clearest reception. You're shouting out the window saying, hey, no, to the left a little bit more. Obviously, I was the antenna mover. There was no remote control. You actually had to walk across the room to change channels. So I also became the family remote control unit. There were, of course, no television sets in schools. There were no video cameras in society, videotapes, VCRs, calculators, touch-tone phones, cell phones, pagers, or even plastic bottles or plastic grocery bags. No FM radio, no Walkman, no CDs, no portable radios of any kind. We had jukeboxes and AM stations with disc jockeys like Wolfman Jack and Big Cat Bob Jones, the world's oldest disc jockey. There were no fast food restaurants, and I never ate a pizza until I was 20 years old in the service. Louis Aparicio was one of a handful of Hispanics playing Major League Baseball. Professional basketball was played by primarily white athletes. The National Football League had no black quarterbacks, centers, or middle linebackers. That was the America I saw in 1960. Your America is going to be a new, exciting place. You're going to have to be prepared for it, and the life that you're going to be living. I'm a believer, by the way, in one of the great books of all time, Tuesdays with Morrie. As Morrie Schwartz says, find something that gives your life meaning and purpose, something that brings you fulfillment. He says to give to your community, and he also says that love is the answer. Love each other or perish. If I may, I'd like to offer a couple of analogies about life and its purpose and meaning. See, life is like a roller coaster. The first part of that ride, that slow, never-ending climb to the top, that's your school years. That's 12 years of school. When you teeter on top for just a moment, that's graduation. And then you tip over and the ride starts. And it is wild. Up and down and round and round, frightening, exhilarating, joyous, and a little nauseating all at the same time. And then suddenly, the ride stops. It's over. Only difference is on this ride, you only get to buy 1 ticket. So make your ride a good one. One good enough to last you an eternity. If you have a beautiful life, a great roller coaster ride, it will be, by the way, because you choose to do so. Things will happen to you in your lifetime that you cannot control. Deal with them. You can only control how you react to those things that happen to you. Life isn't fair. Deal with it. If life were fair, chocolate would be full of vitamins and minerals, and doctors would be warning us to stay away from Brussels sprouts. And I would have hair. The other analogy has to do with the reasons we're here on earth. What's our purpose? Without touching on theological themes, I'd have to say that we're camping. We were told when we were young and going camping that we should leave our campground the same way we found it. Well, most campers do this. A few who have some issues to deal with trash it. Another small percentage do what they can to make it better, and that to me is our purpose here on earth. We all need to try to make our earthly campground just a little bit better for us having been here. I'd like to thank many of the students for the things you taught me. The incredible strength of, and talent of people like Sarah, Katrina, Lessa, exuberance of Candace, a total involvement of Charles, the humor of Joey Mack and Curtis Mack, combination of humor and intellect of Carolyn, Jose's integrity and work ethic, Jenny's sweet smile, I've seen for 4 years now, Melissa, Jody, at least 100 others. Thank you for helping smooth the rough spots and for bringing laughter into my life. Thanks for being cool. Oh, if there's one more thing I need to say, Graduation is coming in a week. Be careful, live a long life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Olson. I would like to thank for the beautiful gifts. Thank you. You know what my favorite things are. And I would just also like to say that I really don't do this by myself. If it wasn't for all the students and their ideas, this breakfast would never have happened. The theme was wonderful, and for all the kids who came in after school and worked, and some of you worked long, long hours, their names are printed in the memory book, and I hope you will take a moment to look at them and thank them for all their hard work. Also, the clocks at your table were made by Mrs. Hobey, and that was a labor of love that she did for you. So if you know Mrs. Hobey, you might thank her when you get back to school. And on that note, at each table, there is a chair that has a little orange graduation cap underneath it. And if you would look under your chairs right now, whoever has the orange graduation cap at each table, you get to take the centerpiece home. Thank you. I do have some more things to say to you, but before that I'm going to introduce Mrs. Gloria Walton, who has some information. And I would also like to thank Gloria. She and other senior parents have worked tirelessly. There would not be a senior grad night if it was not for the senior parents who stepped forward to work. I want to thank you, Gloria.
Seniors, you know I told you I wouldn't talk to you again about a couple of months ago, but unfortunately I'm here again. On a serious note, parents, your student made a commitment to grad night when I got their $35 deposit, and I have a list of about 34 students who still owe me money for grad night party, and that commitment has to be made by June 5th. And I'm in alert for this because my name is on that contract, Doris's name is on that contract, and your student promised they were going to go to this grad night party. And I have worked very hard to make sure that it happens. So I need you guys to check this list, pass it around over here, pass it around over here, one for the front. If your student's name is on there, I expect to see a check made out to MMBC, not Gloria Walton, Mariner Booster Club. I want to thank all those parents and all the students who worked really, really hard with me this year for last-minute calls for concession stands, last-minute run down to Husky Stadium, and this is my farewell to all of you. So, on the last note, everybody should have received an invitation for the baccalaureate, which is going to be on Sunday, June 4th at Mariner, 2 p.m. in the Commons. Please try to RSVP or at least make an effort to show up because this is important. This is our last time to at least say goodbye to you before you guys say goodbye to us. And I hope to see all of you there, and congratulations, class of 2000. Woo! Class of 2000. And I have about 5 rules that will have to be followed, and I want the parents to hear this. Students are not allowed to drive to the grad night party. There will be no bags accompanying you, no pagers, and no cell phones. They will be confiscated, put in a bag with your name on it if you bring them. Each student will be searched before getting on the bus. And all you need is a change of clothes, so you can give your cap and gown and your change of clothes to your parents before you leave that state, that's Mercer Arena. Okay? Everybody got it? I only wanted to say it once and say it once only, because this is my last time. Thank you.
Okay, I had some announcements real quickly while I'm like Gloria, while I have you parents as a captive audience. There are some things we're going to be reminding the students at grad rehearsal on the 6th and 7th, but I want to be sure you hear this also. This year, our students go down on Friday, June 9th. They leave Mariner, catch buses, and then they do come back on those buses. They need their own rides down to the arena in the evening. We need for you to know that in the morning, they do need to bring their cap and gown with them. That is a dress rehearsal, and we do take their picture that goes into the senior hallway at Mariner. So even though you know you're going down and back Friday morning, make sure you are dressed for graduation with nice clothes and caps and gowns. We will have a video available of this breakfast, the senior slideshow, and the graduation itself, the entire ceremony itself. Those videos are $14. They're put together by our VisCom class, which in my opinion is way better than when we had professionals doing it. They do a fantastic job. There will be order forms available for those at grad rehearsal and also in the main office. Seniors, some of you out there are real close to your 13. You are school activity excused for periods 1 and 2 this morning. It's now just past 8:30. You need to be in third period at 9:35. On your way out, there is a memory book which was put together for you by Lashana Wright and Kaya Kani and my juniors. Please, one of those for every seniors. Please take one on your way out. I would like to now please introduce Mrs. Van Winkle, our school principal.
Good morning. Usually I don't take time to speak at this breakfast because it's your turn. But I would like to acknowledge that unfortunately for starting a week of celebration, we've not done a very good job of that with some of our friends. I would like to confirm for you that 2 Mukilteo School District students were killed last night. Obviously, a good many of you know them, and I do appreciate and understand the fact that it might be difficult for you today. We are asking that if you are unable to come to school today, we understand, but please, parents, document that. We still are under state obligation for attendance compliance. If you feel that you can come to school, we would appreciate that as well. Counselors are available, and we have additional Snohomish County deputies on hand today. The investigation is ongoing, and yes, it does directly involve Mariner High School students, unfortunately. If you feel that you have information, we ask that you give it directly to a Snohomish County deputy. Do not continue to perpetuate the rumor mill if that is at all possible, although it is difficult to not talk about. But we would like to try and stay factual and helpful. Not a good way to close your day, but please, as Mr. Olson said, we continue to hope and to pray that you all will be safe for not only today, tomorrow, and the next week, but for many, many years that you can come back to your reunion.
Because we have an invitation to speak.
I only live across the street. Yes, it's rare too, but if you want to go with people, because I don't find out. I don't like that. Oh no, I'm getting photographed. Yes, you can.